We're here at the Green Hand Bookstore, where we're going to go ahead and talk to Michelle Soulier. Michelle does a lot of our historical research for the locations we're going to investigate, and we use a lot of the information that she finds in her research to determine if this is a good location for us to go visit. So let's go on in and have a chat with Michelle and see what she has to say. So what's this new location you have, Michelle?
Well, this time you're going to the state capital, Augusta.
Great.
And you're going to be checking out the Governor Hill Mansion.
Oh, wow.
It's gone by a lot of different names over the years since the Hill family relinquished it. Most recently as the St. Paul's Retreat Center. Mm-hmm. So.
When was the house built?
It was built in, construction was started in 1901.
Okay.
The designer was actually John Calvin Stevens, who was hugely famous in Maine. And it was done in a predominantly a colonial revival style. So it's a very, it's a very ostentatious
very regal building.
Yes, very regal. That's a good word for it. Yeah, so.
Now, was it originally built for Governor Hill, or?
It was, in fact, at a fair amount of expense, which was not paid for by the state. He was actually well off on his own. He also had married a very well-off wife. So he didn't have any problem dropping astonishing amounts of money on the construction. In fact, a load of bricks was brought in from St. Louis post-haste via American Express for about $2,000.
Oh my goodness.
Which was a big enough deal at the time for it to appear in a couple of different trade journals as an excessive spending. They finished the construction in 1902, and by January of 1903, they were ready enough to do a big gala reception to show everybody their new home. And they lived there. Let's see. He was governor of Maine for 2 terms. People seem to really like him. He was reelected to every post he held, pretty much.
Was he governor when the house was built?
Yes. Okay. Yes, he was. He was going into his 2nd term because he had been reelected, and he did not get to enjoy it very long. He passed away in 1912. So he only got to enjoy the house for about 9 years. Yeah, not even 10 years. So that's kind of sad. But his family kept ownership of the house well into the 1940s. And at the end of the 1940s, around 1948, 1949, they presented it to a group called the Oblates of Mary, or more formally, the Missionary Oblates of Mary Immaculate, which is a religious group and with missionary leanings. And they maintained it, they used it, eventually they transferred ownership to Portland's diocese, Portland's Catholic diocese. Yep. And then from there, it was sold to Catholic Charities of Maine very recently. And then after they owned it for about 8 years, they realized that they'd bitten off more than they could chew, and such a huge historic estate was kind of expensive to maintain. So.
Now, how big is this building?
It is quite large. It's 3 stories in height, and between all the floors you get almost 30,000 square feet.
Oh my goodness.
Of room to move around in. It had banquet halls, large reception halls. When he had it built, he knew he was going to be using it for a lot of state affairs, and he designed it. He had it designed with that in mind. Lots of reception areas, lots of places where lots of people could gather together and have fun, or talk business. So whatever he did well, or he didn't do it.
And based on the research you've done in this location, what makes it a good fit for us?
Well, it's obviously seen a lot of both family life and public life, especially more recently. And when it was used as a retreat center, a lot of the use of the building, besides just being used for meetings and, you know, general public stuff like that, there are a lot of closed retreats in which people mention having, you know, epiphanic experiences of epiphany, of realizations, of great spiritual insight. People went there to sort of figure things out quietly and contemplatively in a friendly and safe environment. So it was the location of a lot of focused energy, you could say.
Teresa and I are about to go out through the house and set up our CAT cams. Our CAT cams are the security cameras that we use that connect to our DVR system. We use tape to indicate on the floor or on the wall the spot where we're going to put those cameras when we go back through. While we're going through, we're going to get our host, Elaine, to show us a 2-bedroom apartment that is completely disconnected from the rest of the house. You have to get to it through a cubby hole through the attic. This apartment was used by the Hills back during the Japanese Internment to hide some Japanese refugees so they wouldn't be taken away. And these Japanese refugees eventually became servants for the Hills in this house.
We're about to start our investigation at the Governor Hill Mansion in Augusta, on State Street in Augusta. And right now it's 12:26. And we are about ready to take all of our gear and go to our first location. And this is some of our specialty gear that we may or may not work with during this investigation. This right here is the RT EVP. It'll play back real time, or it'll play back with a 10, 5, or 15-second delay. We have our ghost box and our small ghost box, and big speakers. We also have an ovilus, which we also attach to the big speakers. We have a K3 meter, which measures ionic disturbances as well as disturbances in the electromagnetic field. We just have to pick one. We can't do both at the same time. Then we have the puck, which we haven't worked with yet on camera, so that would be interesting. I know John is looking to work with this one, so we'll have to bring this computer unit with us in order to make the puck work. But the puck is basically, it does a whole bunch of things, but one of the things it does is works as an ovilus, but it actually writes it out. Whatever it's saying, instead of saying it out loud, it writes it out on the screen, so it's very interesting. Then we have our 2 millimeters, which we will definitely be bringing with us. They measure electromagnetic disturbances in the electromagnetic field, and they also tell us what the temperature is. And then we have this new device here, the EFP, which I'm not entirely sold on as of yet, so I'm not sure that we'll work with that tonight. But the EFP is supposed to let you know immediately when there's vocals or sounds that are in the EVP, the true EVP range. And it lets you know by this little scale here. If it drops below the baseline, it's supposed to be something interesting. I don't know. We haven't really had much success with it, but who knows? We could tonight, if we decide to use it. Okay, so are you ready? Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay.
Were we going to turn the heat off?
How do we do that?
I saw it on one of the walls.
Let me have that.
There's a thermostat in this little plug.
What the heck? I just heard what sounded like a vocal right beside me, so the camera should have picked that up.
What's that tapping?
It's the heat.
This tapping here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... I'm not sure if this one is doing anything. And I saw a digital one
It was in there. I turned it off in there.
Okay.
I just heard another vocal that was a woman and she went, behind them in there. I'm sitting out here in the dark by myself. I would rather not be right now.
So you got the heat going still, or?
Yeah.
We're trying to turn off the heat,
Or at least the fan.
We can't
Yeah,
seem to
there's one
find-
here.
the control.
It says off, but the fan is on.
Okay, so that one that I had in there controls them all. Because it says off in there too. It might take a minute for the fan.
Yeah, just shut off. Oh, so he's gone. All right.
All right.
Did the heat go off or? Sounds like it's still on. Is it getting shut off?
It will.
What's that sound? Is it gonna take a minute to go off?
Yeah, the fan has to.
You just hear something?
Yeah, I did. Did you?
Yeah. I thought it was John. But it wasn't. I mean, it sounded like. I heard that earlier too when I was setting up the camera in the library.
12:45, 12:45. Cat's Zoom. Sitting on the table on the second floor in the governor's mansion. Governor, the what?
Governor Hill Mansion.
Governor Hill Mansion.
There was a woman that just went, Okay, that was me saying okay. All right. $12:45 by Cat's watch. I just turned on Tony Olympus and Cat Olympus, and we are on the second floor in the Governor Hill Mansion.
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 Tony Olympus on a bureau, which is right outside of Mrs. Hill's room. And I'm going to put, John, will you walk with me, please? I'm going to put Cat Olympus down in this back hallway, and I'm gonna put it on the railing right here. See this railing right here? That's where I'm gonna put it. Make sure it's going. Yep, it's going. And it's kind of within hearing distance of that room 205. Room 205 is back here. It's right there.
This is where we heard the whispering earlier.
Room 205 is right here. And nobody likes to stay in that room. There is an office in there right now, but there's nobody in there. They're not there. When they had retreats here, nobody wanted to stay in room 205. Even when it was open, even when it was free and available, people wouldn't take it. It would stay empty. So.
Can you come up to this table and knock on the table in a non-threatening way? Or speak into one of the recorders on the table and say your name? Is that your stomach, Tony?
No.
Hello? Hello? Did you hear that male vocal? Did you hear a voice?
I didn't hear a voice, but I did hear a noise.
That was Tony. Me exhaling. Is there a man here with us right now? Can you please say something out loud so that we can hear you? Away from us? Loudly? Please? Hello? Hello? Are you in one of these bedrooms? Can you knock on one of the doors to let us know which one you're in? Can you do that within the next 30 seconds so that we can hear? John, tell me you heard that.
I heard that.
What was that?
It almost sounded like metal pipes banging.
Thank you.
You asked them downstairs if they made any noise?
Did you guys make a noise downstairs?
No, we did not.
Can you do that within the next 30 seconds so that we can hear?
So right now at 69.7 degrees, can you make the temperature drop at this table? Ooh, what was that?
I don't, me probably, there was just a really weird smell right here. You guys, I think there's something down there. I really feel like I'm sitting in a really exposed area right now. Hello? So, can you tell us if you lived here? Did you ever live here? I thought I just heard a man speaking at a distance that way. What is that sound?
I don't know.
It is creeping me out.
What is that noise? You want me to sit over there?
Yeah. If you could sit with you closer to that side right there.
I'm bringing my chair. This thing's comfortable. I'll actually sit with my back to this wall, or to this hallway. So if you want to come right up and tug on my hair, go right ahead. Just me though.
Yeah, he's the guy that has hardly any hair.
Okay, tug my ear. Can you come up and touch me on my arm or my back? I'm holding my hand up. Me and only me. I give you permission to come up and touch me only. Nobody else. Just to let me know you're here. Or tap on my chair.
Do something audible, because touching you we won't be able to tell.
Okay.
Like, yeah, do something audible, or, yeah, that we can hear, or that you can record.
Can you come up and bang on the door beside me? Or knock over the meter that's sitting on the floor with the red light beside me? Or come up and holler your name into my ear? That was my chair.
Ooh. That was like a holler.
It sounded like a whistle to me, but it could have been.
That's what I thought I heard was a whistle.
I know, but what I meant was it was like exerted, whatever it was.
Was that you hollering to me or whistling? Thank you. Can you knock on this door beside me twice to let me know you're here, please? Can you turn on one of the lights up here?
We heard you turn on lights, or somebody turns on lights in different areas of the house. Can you do it for us right now, please?
Something's touching my neck.
Something's touching your neck? Where?
Right here. Oh my God, the hair's like standing right up. It felt like something was just...
Okay. Is that the heat? Oh my gosh, I feel like we're being stared at intensely. I just feel like somebody's staring at us.
Car just go by?
Yeah. Can you knock one of the candlesticks over, please? There are candlesticks standing up against... Hey, did you hear a uh-oh in there?
No, I didn't.
There are candlesticks next to Mrs. Hill's bedroom door. Can you knock one over, please, while we're looking? And I'm looking right now. If you knock over the candlesticks, we'll pick them up.
That was on the table.
Yes, I do not know what that was, but I'm looking right at the table.
Me too.
Whoa, shh. Thank you. Keep going. You can knock something over, it's fine. Push it. Okay, we're gonna get ready to move to a different area of the house unless you can do something like turn on the lights to let us know that you're here. It has to be something, no pressure, but it has to be something that's really kind of
Impressive.
yeah, without, you know, not threatening. And something that we can see, something that's in front of us, basically. Or if you turn on the lights, then everybody can see that. And we heard that you're really good at turning on the lights. So we would like to be here when you turn the lights on, if you don't mind, if you can do that. Whatever you do, it has to be something that we can really see, which is in front of us. So we're here on the second floor and we're wrapping up and we're heading downstairs. I would say that of the whole time that we've been up here, when we didn't ask for any signs, there were no sounds that we thought might have been something. There were no sounds. When we asked for signs, within, I don't know, how many minutes would you say, John?
Within a minute, most of the time.
Yeah, within a minute, we heard some pretty significant sounds, so I'm not really sure, you know, I'm hoping that we got some EVPs, some vocals and things like that, because the sounds that we got were very coincidental. If they were coincidences, they were very coincidental, because there were no sounds, then we would ask for sounds, and there the sounds would be.
So while we were up here on the second floor, I was sitting over in that chair and Kat was on the steps, and it sounded like something had slid on the table. So I'm hoping we could caught it with one of the two DVRs or one of the handheld camcorders. We'll have to look at it later to see, but it distinctly sounded like something sliding or moving on the table. Also, at one point, personal experience, it felt like something was touching the back of my head after I'd asked for it. And we had several noises. When we asked for a noise, we got a noise, and there was a few really loud bangs. Almost sounded like someone banging metal or pipes to me. So, oh no, there were a few good experiences on the second floor. Hopefully we'll come up with something. Also, in the very beginning, I think both Tony and I heard what we thought was a whistle. So it'll be interesting to see if that was picked up by any of the audio recorders.